Hey guys, this is Mike and Colin and Dylan of the ARG team.
The Fighting Dragons.
Woo! Welcome to our first ever ARG team podcast discussion video. We don't even know what to call this right now. This is just kind of...
We'll figure it out in post.
Exactly, yeah. Colin fixed that in post, thanks.
Figured it out in post.
Yeah, perfect. So we're here today to, open up some discussion. We might have Alex plan to join us later if his internet cooperates. If not, you just get our pretty faces. So win-win for all of you. Exactly. So today we got a really good, particularly good discussion on some upcoming stuff. We got obviously a lot of things, a lot of subjects to cover and talk about. But the first one that's on everybody's minds, especially with spoiler season coming up, new Valhalla discussion, and I am so hyped.
And before,
but I'm kind
of real quick before we get into the discussion, just so you guys know, be sure to, in the description we should have a link to our Facebook page for ARG if you want to follow for updates for when we go to ARGs or GPs. We post updates on there, and these videos, be sure to subscribe and look out for these, because I think the plan is to do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so 2 videos a week, except for this week will be 1 video, but so just be ready for that. But yeah,
Yep, we're figuring things out as we go along, but whatever.
What did you say about new Valhalla, Dylan?
I am kind of interested, but it's a cautious optimism. This is a really big step, so I'm interested to see where it goes. But
Agreed. I think this could either be like really, really good for the game, or the thing that puts the final nail in the coffin. And I am 100% hoping for the first, because so far, obviously, I love Valhalla aesthetic. I think Valhalla aesthetic is like primo. So I'm so glad we're going back to that.
Yeah.
Space Pandas were good, but Valhalla just.
Be careful what you say here.
No, I love pandas. You know how much I love pandas.
I agree with the risk thing, which is what surprised me, because I felt like Force Will, especially with at least we're given the appearance of taking steps in the right direction and stuff like that. And so it felt like all they had to do was do things like ban Sherry and then not print bad stuff. And that's all they had to do, and the game would grow on its own. And so it feels like they're taking a risk here, because all it takes for the game is really one more bad thing, and then it goes chunk, and that might be the final nail, like you said. But it could be they're so confident in what they're about to do with the new set that they're confident it'll be the opposite. It'll instead of just keeping a steady incline, they're thinking this will be the jump start the game needs. So I could see why they're doing it. But if I was running the company, I wouldn't have done it. But that being said, I'm excited to see.
It's risky, but
on that note, right? Like they're trying to start over fresh. So, like Mike said, I think Valhalla is probably the best way to do that, because it's where everything started, right? That's how Force Will got its name. It's how everything got going. So if they're going to start over fresh, what better way to start off from a new leaf than to restart everything from the first place?
Yeah, exactly. Which is a super cool thing, and I'm excited for it. Whether it goes over well or not depends on, the card quality, but we're going to obviously talk about our speculations today for that, see what we think is going to happen. And I guess if you guys want, we could get started with some of our favorites, at least aesthetically and from what's been spoiled-ish so far of the nukes cards.
Top 10 best leaders of all time: Ninja Cats, Ninja Cats, Ninja Cats, Ninja Cats.
All right, perfect. Okay, that's good. We're already starting strong.
I'm feeling the same way about Ninja Cats. I feel like it might be similar to me how it was for Pandas, where I was not into Pandas when they first. It felt too forced. Like, oh look, it's Pandas, and I was like, you just want me to like Pandas. And then like it wasn't until like partway through, while after the first set came out, that I was like, okay, fine, I like these. So that probably is going to be the same thing with Ninja, because I love cats. I mean, they've got me there, but like.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is that as soon as Rose Quartz was introduced, you were like, maybe I do have a thing for pandas.
No, it was before. It was a little bit before Rose Quartz, but
I need to play pandas with the dog in my deck. So that was Colin.
If they have like a cat that's a ninja cat, but it's called like lazy ninja cat, and it's just like a fat cat with a high defense and low attack or something like that, then
Just kind of like
they'd
casually
hook me in.
throwing shuriken.
Yeah, that would hook me in. Just weird stuff like that is what would be my draw.
Listen, Dylan, the only thing I've got to say is that once we go to Worlds and once you're trying to play Hanzo, I'm going to call you a filthy Hanzo man the whole time. Great.
That was my first thought.
Dude, that happens literally all the time in Gastrus, because one of the clans is Genji, so we just always make that joke.
That's fair, yeah. I really hope that all the rulers are like on the same playing field so that everybody just gets to pick their favorites for Worlds.
I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that they'll need to go over with Valhalla is that all the starter decks need to be on exactly the same playing field.
Exactly.
We see way too often. There's always the one or two starter decks that are just way better. Like
Ray and Kirik from last set.
This time, yeah, it's Kirik, right? He's just that much better than every other starter.
And Rhea, because Ray also had infinite recycling of...
Like down here, like right below Kirik. Kirik's definitely
like right there and there.
Like a contender. Then you have like Shayla and Gil, and it's like these are okay decks, I guess. Like
and the Tigris is just
they're there, Tigris. They're there. He's okay.
See, here's the thing that worries me. I don't know if you guys had saw this, but we had gotten the sort of preview of the different abilities and stuff like that. And for each color, it says, hey, this color does this. This color does this and this and all that. When you got to green, which is Ninja Cats, it doesn't do that. It literally just, all it says as far as their abilities is it is a jack of all trades.
Well, mostly, sorry, I didn't mean to pick out.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's mostly that, and this is kind of something people notice, but Wind generally has little pieces of every other different type. And I think
everyone else's identities, yeah.
Less distinctive because they have two different styles for each color, right? Like, for example, light, there's ones with life gain, barrier, damage prevention, but then there's also the other leader who's focused on swarming with low-cost, low-power minions, right? And then buffing them. So I think with green, they're actually trying to make it two distinct groups, one of them being like cancels and all that kind of stuff, and the other being the jack of all trades, your little people.
That's fair.
So
my theory is that they know that Wind is too overpowered, so they're just not giving them abilities.
No, apparently that's light, so.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Good. Tigers flew them over the wind, so.
So what was yours, Mike, that you're excited for?
I'm kind of in a tie. Because I can't get rid of my love for blue, so Loki and the Awakening cost stuff sounds super cool. I love Awakening. I love like being challenged to figure out, if the Awakening's worth it, if it's not, maybe there'll be like multiple Awakenings on cards. Like Little Dread was one of my favorite cards of all time.
I miss that one.
So she got power creep, but she's so fun and good. Like she's just.
I still play her in Wanderer tournaments. She kills me.
The control of things is really good. Like
it's pretty good. Giving them swiftness and recovering them too, and then giving something -6 defense. But Lich's aesthetic is so good. Oh my god, it's like Next Ramus all over again. I'm like,
like Memory Grimbuster was when I had summoned what's the dragon? It was Swiftness Blazer. I summoned Blazer and I attacked. I'm like, all right, I'll make a spot. And then my opponent's like, Little Dread, I'll attack you with him. I'm like, no.
I did that for game once. I've done that. They just grabbed me. They're just like, all right, cool, you're dead.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited to. I feel like Awakening hasn't been used very much as of recently, so I'm really excited.
Been Time Spinning Witch. Yeah, it's literally only been Time Spinning Witch lately.
It's like Standby. It's one of those mechanics that they have in the game and it's there, but they don't use it.
I miss Standby.
I'm hoping, because there was a lot of standbys about how they go back to Standby.
I hope we get like a little bit of it, like not too much, because obviously I don't want to just have people just like, I'm gonna throw down 3 face downs and end my turn.
Yeah, no, and not have the crazy combos we had at the tail end of the Standby era.
Yeah, no.
Like I want to see Standby come back, but not Stealth. Stealth is.
Yeah, I want to see Stealth eroded so that you can't use Stealth creatures on the same turn they're set. Because that was garbage. That was garbage. I was so mad when that happened. I'm like, why would you?
They have the same mechanic, but they function differently. Why?
Yeah, I hate it. It was the worst, and I wish they would just make them trap cards. Just if you're gonna make trap cards, make them stick to trap cards. Don't
Like
just.
Prison of the Lunar Lake, I missed that one.
That was so.
Or sorry,
No.
execute.
Do you guys want to know the deck that I built recently? That was awesome. Nighttime Raiders.
Oh,
You.
you,
So it's the one where if you could, it's a 3-cost.
It's
Except
a 4
for
cost
one, I think.
play, I think.
5-cost Darkness Resonator if you've dealt damage to your opponent this turn. So you just place the Flame Sprite. So then you swing at the Flame Sprite and you play like Mephistopheles or something out of your hand and just nuke them.
oh.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Does it have to be darkness? I think, right?
It has to be Darkness, yeah.
See,
If
that
you're
would
doing the
be-
light version, you have the one where.
Like, just drop an Arthur, put it down, make them attack you with your stuff.
Oh, that'd be so good. No, the one that the light one only does 4 cost or lower, but that's okay because you can just do like Blackheart Alice, and I'm like,
I like Blackheart Alice. I was trying to
Same.
hybrid her into my Imul deck. I was trying to make it work.
4 costs in Imul. Ooh.
I forget
Well,
what I did. I did something. But yeah. No, I was introing with if did you guys ever play Knights of the Round Table?
A little bit.
Uh,
I played
yeah.
Lancelot for a little while.
It just didn't seem like it worked as an actual archetype. It mostly just seemed like Lancelot and Galahad or whatever. We're the only ones that.
Whoa. Don't say it didn't work as an archetype. Billy Buttons just annihilated people with knights.
Yeah, but that's Billy Buttons, though.
You're right. Billy Buttons can annihilate people with. I don't even have an example.
Made it full constructed worlds and draft. Billy Buttons, I can.
No,
Billy
There is.
Buttons is just like the greatest anomaly in this game.
Yeah.
Lovely, and I love him. And Billy, if you're watching this,
Better be watching
he's
this.
top, 100% top waifu. Apparently, according to Aaron and Ryan, he knows all the really good places in Japan that they can't find. Apparently, they're like hole-in-the-wall places that he goes to. So hopefully, I can get a ride with him there to wherever he's going and find all the garbage that nobody else can find.
I find that Coke coffee. You stole all mine last time.
Oh, people
You
keep
rated-
telling me to go to a lot of places.
Yeah, no, I would love to go to Japan just to find those random places, but I played Knights of the Round Table a lot especially a little bit after I first started playing. It was just a lot of fun, just playing it because I loved the interplay between them and how they worked with each other. I like that sort of symmetry. So I'm super excited for robots. Yeah. Robot Knights of the Round Table, and then to have flavor with the counters and treating counters like mechanical pieces. I was like, that's what I love in life, is that type of
I
stuff.
love the cohesiveness they needed that they're missing in Alice Coaster.
What?
I said I hope that's the cohesiveness missing because they like work together, but they felt like they're missing something, right?
Yeah, they didn't have any like natural power within the symmetry. It was a lot of like, it felt like it was missing some sort of jump start inside of it.
Yeah.
So
So if you introduce something like, if they fuse it with how machines work, so you have maybe, because you had powerful machine stuff, you had void color stuff, and if you're able to splash that inside of a round table type of thing, and you add a spaceship floating in the sky, I think you might have something like really cool going on there.
cool to call second there. It's like, yeah, you just gotta have the spaceship in the sky as well, and then
And the cool thing now with runes is if they're like, oh, it is missing some sort of symmetrical piece in there, here's a rune that adds that piece, and you're like, all right, perfect, now we're set to go. So that's what I'm most excited for.
how the runes are working. Like, are they adding things like target attack and actual abilities, or are they just piecing on keywords and that's it?
Hey, well, precision target attack is not a target.
Well, yes.
I feel like it's my hope is that the rulers, especially what a little bit we saw of those images, is that the rulers will be basically a blank slate, that these add in those key words and key abilities that you can sort of customize your own ruler type of thing.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, I hope that the runes are locked to specific rulers for some of them, because I feel like too much customization is a bad thing.
Some of them are. It sounds like there will be some that will be locked to specific rulers, some locked to specific colors of rulers, and some that are generic. And then some that can go inside of your deck.
Drawbacks like negative 200 attack swiftness or something like that, right?
Yeah, so you can have something that's like, hey, this red deck is going out of control. Here's a rune that the subtext is it can go in any color besides red, and the ability is you can pay 1 void at any time to all resonators your opponent controls lose swiftness till end of turn, or something like that. Something to counter that you can do specific counters, but are also good slots that would still. This is assuming they do it like good and stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
A lot of them probably just gonna be like general chants and stuff that you can play in your main board too. So
Yeah,
Like
that was
Shuri,
weird. Deck. I was like, that's interesting. I'm not sure how that'll work.
y'all can quote me on this. The first thing we're gonna get. We're good. Okay. First thing we're gonna get for exclusive to all the fire rulers, a rune for fire rulers. Pay red. Give your J ruler plus 200 attack until end of turn.
I mean, hey, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, 200 attack versus burn damage is a little weak, but I mean, it's pretty balanced, right?
Yeah. So
it's the power level that Sherry cards should have been, so it might be like they.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
But no, let's give Sherry a double revival card at instant speed.
Yeah.
That could get more.
Yeah, if they're doing like Sherry level, it'd be like a 1-cost red. J ruler gains 200 flying and swiftness till end of turn, or something like that.
Pay 1 red. Deal 500 damage to target J resonator or your opponent.
Like, basically, I'm not like having them in the main deck is a weird part of the mechanic. Like, I was following everything up into the point where you can deck. I was like, okay, these are like pieces you put onto your ruler, like build a ruler kind of deal. You pick it before the game, put it in a rune deck, and then you have a custom ruler. But then they're like, well, some of them work in your main deck.
That's what I was curious about, because if they're going in your main deck, then wouldn't they just be a chant or an addition? Like, why would they be a rune?
I'm kind of under the assumption that it'll be like chant with like subtype rune maybe or something like that, and then anything that's exclusive rulers will just say rune on it without saying like chant rune or anything.
Well, because the part that concerns me is it seems like very Sherry-like, where it's like, this is a rune, and then it's in your rune deck, but you can also put it in your main deck. That's where I'm like, I think we've already done this before, and it's not really going to make.
Yeah, because in order for it to be in your main deck, it has to be decent, and if it's decent and it's in your rune deck, then we're hitting Sherry territory again. Like, if it's
Like,
in an extra deck, it shouldn't be.
To it, like, it's not as bad, but it's still not a mechanic that I like very much. Right?
Yeah, if it's good enough to be in your main deck, I think it's probably too strong for to be add extra cards to your starting hand, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm thinking of is that maybe like the main deck ones would have like a really, really high divinity cost, where it'll be like Divinity 6 or Divinity 7 on a Divinity 10 ruler or something.
Actually count toward your divinity, or
I would assume
could,
anything that's
yeah.
in your.
because that would actually be a good balancing thing. But at the same time, if they still cost toward divinity, why would they not just go into your deck, right? Like your or rune deck, sorry.
Well, I would assume that the divinity cost would only affect it in your rune deck. I think divinity cost is totally separate if it goes in the main deck, just from.
Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. You're saying that they would have a high cost and necessity.
Yeah.
Versus.
Which would limit you from using anything else there too. So something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. If that's the case, I think that then it'd be perfectly fine. Well, not perfectly fine, but we'd be better than Sherry.
The other thing that I was thinking about is that if the runes are essentially replacing set, I don't think it's necessarily the same, because rulers are what you use to play the game. Runes are just basically spells, right? So, like, as much as a rune might become really good and you might want to throw it in your deck, it's not going to make you, like, hyped to buy boxes or hyped to pull it out of a pack or whatever.
Especially
fair.
with your percentage chance of pulling. Like, imagine you need 5 runes. These 5 runes you need, and there's a much smaller percentage chance of you point. You need to you need to drop maybe $20 on a ruler. This is going to be the first instance where you might need to drop $20 per card for 5 cards you need in your extra deck, potentially, depending on rarity and all that stuff.
I guess you're kind of on the right note. It basically depends on how often runes come up and how important they actually are, right? Like, for example, if there's 5 jank runes and there's 2 good ones, then you're not really going to be very happy to open your box, right?
Well, and it's not going to be the same thing, like you said, like, yeah, like you're going to open a box, but right now you open a box, well, not right now, actually. A couple sets ago, you would open a box and be like, all right, this is cool. I'm guaranteed a ruler. What ruler did I pull? Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll try and make a deck out of this. What are you going to do with the rune? You're going to pull a rune and be like, am I going to make a deck out of this rune? Am I going to try and open more boxes to get more runes and open more, buy a starter deck? And... yeah, it's a different environment.
You kind of stumbled upon the thing where they've been playing with the ratios so much in this last cluster. Like, is there going to be 1 ruler? Is there going to be 2? 3 rulers? Like, just they've been playing around with all these ratios, reprinting stuff, putting extra stuff in, having different chase cards. Like, there's been so much experimentation that I'm not really sure what they're going to be multiple chase cards, or they're going to be like things specific about them.
The smart thing would be like to have the runes be the guaranteed, replacing the ruler spot, and then have all parts of the rulers replace the chase card slot.
That would be smart. Yeah.
That
like,
way,
I think there should have a guaranteed set amount of them, like probably more than a ruler, because they're for everyone, right?
It's true. Yeah.
Because like if I'm pulling like let's say Little Red or Fair or something like that, then I'm only using it for one type of deck, right? But a rune is for every type of deck. It's a potential card that works for anything. So having it limited to 1 or 2 a box is a really poor decision in my mind, since so many people will need that card and possibly for more than 1 deck.
Yep. But here's hoping that they do it. It's one of my pictures that I've got in my head right now is that they're kind of going to be like the way super rares are, where you'll probably receive most of them when you open up a box, or even all of them if you have like a god pack.
Yeah, like that would be cool. And yeah. I mean, yeah, like that's the way it should be.
Yeah, but they specifically did say it's replacing the ruler slot, though, which it could be that like they have an SR, or they could be like Castle Chronicles and introduce a new rarity that's even more rare, and that replaces the ruler slot. And then regular runes that are commons and uncommons you can still pull in the set, or like you said, there are still rares and super rares that you can get inside of a god pack or something like that. That would be cool. And then just like the god tier runes are what's replacing the rulers, or the super cool art ones that they replace the border art and everything, like Castor Chronicles.
Like, I know they said there aren't any rulers in the set, but did they say it's going to be like a ruler in terms of pulls, or that it's actually replacing? Because I don't remember.
What I don't remember where it was heard. I can try and look it up, but from what I remember, it was replacing the ruler slot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big difference, right? The slot or the actual like idea? Because that's what I thought they said. I could have just.
Yeah, and if you give me I'll look it up. If you guys want to discuss some more, I'll try and find where it was.
I mean, beyond the Ninja Cats, I'm really happy with the reanimation theme, because having like a whole archetype around that is pretty solid. Like, I'm really a big fan of that kind of theme.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I'm also really interested in how the hell they're going to balance the demon archetype, because it's in discard, and I have no idea what that entails.
I don't know what the archetype is. It's demons, but we've never really had anything besides demon mechanic. That, right?
Yeah, because I think the main thing is that, yeah, I've got it up here right now. Lucifer's cards excel at hand disruption, aiming to whittle away your opponent's choices. I don't know how much most players can take from getting their hand ripped apart.
I mean, to be fair, Rhea already has all of those tools available to her, and she's still a good deck, but not like her.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just really, I don't know what else to scale. Like, we have cards that give you things when you summon demons. You have demons that summon demons. Entirely a summoning mechanic. I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out one of the other things I'm thinking of, aside from obviously the demons and having the hand disruption stuff. It's saying that Lich is going to have a lot of resonators that keep coming back, like a lot of reanimation
Yeah,
stuff.
like is it just like demonic dead, or is it like once per turn? Once per turn?
Because I think your thoughts are kind of going similar to where mine are going, where I'm thinking of like regeneration and magic, where they come back with a counter, and then if they leave with a counter, they stay. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be exactly regeneration, because I think they're moving away from direct copying magic, but I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I just really don't know where they're going with mechanic. I'm pretty happy about it. Like I played Yamada for the longest time. Like I really like Yamada, but teams like that are really good too. Just any kind of reanimation spell.
Yeah.
So it has to be done right, because we had lots of reanimation spells in this cluster. They're just not good.
They're either too expensive or too linear, or
high restrictions on them. They generally just don't have any fill.
Yep, exactly.
Real quick, circling back to the runes, I found the thing. The exact quote was, as mentioned before, rulers will not be in booster packs. Instead, a variety of different ability-holding runes that directly strengthen the set's 10 rulers will be included. Of course, this entire set isn't comprised of runes. You will see cards supporting different decks and synergy included as well.
Okay, so it's the idea of runes, not the actual team slot structure, which is kind of what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure if I misremembered.
What it could also mean, you know how when a set's revealed, it's like it'll be like the support set and then the ruler alphabetically, and then the rest of the support set. The runes might just be slotted into those areas as just like rares or supers.
Maybe.
Because
there's just a lot of unknowns with runes, and that's part of what scares me, right? Is we just don't know anything about them really. Shown.
I'd mentioned this on the TCG Scrub podcast that it's probably out by now, but I think the best course of action, they probably won't do this, but because there's all this uncertainty, especially in the case of runes like we were just talking about, I think the best course of action for the company would, to start the spoiler season off, just do a huge info dump, show us like a ruler, 2 runes that support it, ruler and 2 runes that support it, and a bunch of info detailing how it works inside of booster packs and pull ratios, all that stuff, just to like quell any questions off the get-go, so we're not like having this questioning theme throughout spoiler season.
Yep.
Yeah, like I feel like they're probably going to do some sort of dump. I'm just not sure how far they're going to go. Like it sounds like you want them to go really far, like really down to the how many of each ruler you'll pull on each pack and all that kind of stuff. And the company, in my eyes, just doesn't do that kind of stuff. It's not really them. But I think they're going to a huge like dump of like, hey, this is everything about a rune. These are all the runes. Here's and just kind of fill us with all this hype and then leave everything else.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It sounds like it gets you hyped enough to like want the set, but it doesn't tell you any like concrete information besides what the runes are, right? And it's enough that you feel invested, but not the exact specifics of the runes, right? In terms of
yeah,
exactly.
Because it's a big difference to get like 5 runes in the box, and even if one was the case and one wasn't, no less off the bat until that we're a lot closer to the set, right?
Yeah, and I just feel like they might need to do something different. Like we mentioned at the beginning, it is a lot of like risks and different stuff going into this new set, and there are people that are like iffy about it and stuff like that. So I feel like they should take a slightly different approach to certain things. What that is, I'm not quite. It could depend.
Sorry, I missed the last part after you said people were iffy.
Oh, I was just saying, people are iffy going into this new set with all the changes and stuff like that. So, like, what form that could take as far as what the company could do, could vary. But I feel like with all that uncertainty, just doing, like, all right, normal spoiler season, nothing crazy or different here, blank, I feel like a slightly different approach might be needed. Although Jeff doing his monthly live stream and being able to answer questions could also just be a nice antidote for some of that.
I mean, I think it needs like what you're saying. I think it needs more open communication. Jeff's nice and all, but he's not the whole company guy. I think as a company, it's communicated with us about what's actually happening, what things are, just to not only get us hyped, but to build more goodwill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because, like, as much as I love being left in the dark, it really sucks. We don't know anything. There's a new cluster coming up. We know there are basic mechanics and basic ideas of what each deck is, and we've seen pictures of their artwork.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
So I feel like they're basically just covering everything with like a big, like, hey, here's the basics. You have to figure out everything else in between. Here you go.
Yeah, especially for me and Dylan going to Worlds and not having any way to kind of test it out beforehand. It's going to be a mad scramble within the next month or so once they actually reveal everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it always is. It's never really been great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would be nice if we got a little more clarity going.
Agreed. And also, fun side note, Dylan, because you and I are going to Worlds, we don't have to worry about all the ratios at first. Yeah!
Is there anything you guys want to comment on? Or we can tell us, obviously.
Are we gonna end today with the Percy versus Valentina debate, or do we say that for another time?
It's just. I
um,
mean, looking at those ARG lists, and Chrissy has definitely been the OG. She's putting in all the work. I know at our ARG, my Chrissy list definitely destroyed the Cherry decks. So
yeah,
Chrissy
Prisha was a theme.
yes, my list was basically Chrissy.
That was probably. Yeah, that was probably that whole Prisha X. That was probably the least amount of fun I've ever had in Force of Will. Was
Swift gets Chrissy on turn 3, blows up 3 guys. 3, okay.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Like, hey, you got a doll? You got a doll? You got a doll?
nobody gets it
I
done.
was trying to make red green Charizard work for a while. Just trying to do like Maribella Little Red shenanigans in Sharon.
Maribella is really good. The problem is it makes you run red, like basic red, and that's not really a good thing. Like, you want basic
Yeah.
things. But
Yeah.
Maribella herself is so good. You want to do it. It's
Yeah. Only issue is that you don't want to get to the state of the game where you want to play Maribella and Charizard, because at that point you just Judgment and kill them.
Yeah, like the Redstone just they kind of trigger me because I don't know if any of you guys ever saw the Montreal stream from last year, but I was literally undefeated for 6 rounds, and then on round 7, on game 3, I'm swinging for lethal, go for the OTK, get double Redstones in a row, so I can't do the OTK. Then my opponent summons double double Priscilla, and he uses the Levitine on both of them after they attack. And he has 1,000 points in the Ojo. Like, come on. So
Levitine was a fair and balanced card.
yeah, Levitine's so bad. At every point anyone did anything with Levitine, all I could ever think, wow, you're allowed to do this.
Yep.
Even when I was using Levitine, I'm like, wow, I'm allowed to do
Yep, that's one of the reasons one of my original LGS owner was like, I don't want to play this game right now. I'm like, yeah, I know, welcome.
Yeah, no.
Levitine fair and balanced.
Yeah, I remember.
5 free effects.
And being able to yeah, I remember when I first was playing First World and like running into that and each time I played it I had to reread it because I was like, no, I'm thinking that's an ability of a different card, and I was like, oh no, it has that ability too, and that ability, and that ability, and it's like, oh, so, and like going to the GP during Prisha and being like, all right, I killed your Prisha, and they're like, cool, I'll banish for imperishable, play another Levity, and kill. I killed the Prisha 3 times and still lost the game, and it's like, I feel like that shouldn't happen. I feel like I should get some type of reward for killing your ruler 3 times in a row and not lose the game.
That was why I'm this Izanagi, because that was the most fun thing ever when people throw down on the and be like, yeah, I'm set. And they're like, no, give me that shit 2K. And
Here,
like,
take this 2K.
I had 2 Death Sights and a Levity. Now I have 0.
You played 0?
Know, it was, I just wish that they had limited Regalia only to the rulers that were actually using them.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of things they could have done. They could have made it so you can't have like every reveal in the field. They could have made it so there was a limit of how many back. They could have made it restricted each ruler. Like, there were a lot of things they could have done with Regalia that they didn't. And in all honesty, I think for the most part, they just countered each other, except for Levitine. Levitine had like 5 abilities that were just not like there was no other Regalia that did as much as Levitine did for as cheap. Like for example,
First phase Levitine did.
a well-designed Regalia was the bow, right? Because you needed multiple copies for it to actually just kill things, right? And there was lots of good combos that could equip the bow despite it being free. And then it had a finite use.
Yep, and then with Arla having the 4 counters on it, it actually ended up becoming one of the best counters to Apollo because it could shoot J resonators with flying. So there was that check and balance, and then there's that was tasty. That was good. That was good stuff. It's not good.
Like with the broken side, besides Levitine, Apollo was broken, but it still wasn't like tier 0. You can't do anything. It's just a good card, right?
Yep.
Well, and it's funny in their effort to purposely make Vingolf 2 as bad as they possibly could, they out on the side made Regalia that where the power level where Regalia always should have been. It's like this, if Regalia were always this, they would have been great. They would have been still used in a bunch of decks, and Clash Tank.
No matter Providence, it's a good example that no matter how badly designed that set, Clash Tank is actually just good enough to be in like every deck as a one-up.
Yeah, every Scheherazade deck was running Clash Tank.
Tank so good, and there was actually a couple times it has again the Levitine thing where it has so many abilities. You're like, wait, what? You look at it, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can tap.
It's like,
yeah, Dylan, you were playing Clash Tank in your Scheherazade at.
I was Lumia.
Oh, you were Lumia, right? Yeah.
I was Lumia. Remember, I was on the stream with the bot control.
Yes. Yes. That was such a good moment. That was one of my favorite moments of that entire. Jeremy and I went ballistic. That was awesome.
Dude, I think the whole stream like shat their pants on that.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I feel like that's the clip that got Otherworld Dreams banned.
Well, like I was literally just like, all right, that's fine. I'll just play another one. No, okay, I'll play another one. There's no way you can't have 4. I'll just play this one. Like, well, I got rid of all the thought control. And
but thought control, he basically got 3 thought control.
The best play because I had 2 Lumias in my hand, and because all of the thought control bought through them all, he couldn't pick the other Lumia, and I actually couldn't win. And he was just so salty about it. But I was like, wow, that actually, despite all the memery, that was actually.
that was great.
So glad Otherworld Dreams is banned. So glad that Sherry is banned.
I think we just need to all the join the group, and then I think we're in a good format. I think on that note, we're probably going to end it since the video stream.
All right, sounds good to me. I guess for the last note, we'll end with the Wanderer deck we're trying to break right now.
Oh no, is it the win the game deck? Or?
No, I already did that one. I already did the deck profile for that. Now I'm just playing Infinite Turns.
The Infinite Turns, like Alice's World, or
Alice's World, where you play Sun Wukong, Enforcer of the Future.
Assume that Sun Wukong is actually the entire deck.
Yeah, it is. Because Sun Wukong bounces an addition back to your hand, so you bounce the Alice's World back, and then you play Lumia, so you tap him, and then you flicker him.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot that Sun Wukong did that.
Yeah, so you take infinite extra turns.
So what happens if they cancel?
You lose the game. I don't know. I don't know. What if my thing gets canceled? I don't know, dude. I got canceled. They can't cancel a flicker, except you have Lorite, so you do.
You 100% can't cancel a flicker.
You can also cancel the enter ability of Alice's Worlds.
Yeah, that was a weird thing about Alice's World. Like, technically a duel stops it, like having the ruler of duel. It's like, oh yeah, you have an enter ability. I'm sorry.
If your opponent taps out and you have to play, you kill him.
So, on that note, look forward to that.
Give me the Wanderer deck you're trying to break.
The Wanderer deck I'm trying to break is something with Sylvia and Sylvia resonators. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I think
Best grill.
You technically can get an OTK out of Sylvia with the Vingolf 3 support, but it's not till like turn 4 or 5.
Yeah, I just want the Shadow of Office combo to be real and be alive. So I've just been playing with Umar and the new spell. Like, with those 7 wins, they're just not doing anything. It's like,
Yeah, no, straight up. That's like one of the coolest combos.
Well, you can have
just like
Lapis copy the Umar copy made by Bailey, and
just go off. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because you can grab Verdant City, and that'll make you another fire mana, and you can keep going again. Like, that card is actually nuts. Like, it's insane.
No, it's not better than Fire. It's not better than Flames of Nyarlathotep into Alexandria, into that.
You can still get Alexandria. Like, you also, all the Umars still have swiftness.
Oh, do you know what?
You're still able to attack with all the Umars.
Do you know what Joe put in his Umar combo deck?
No,
CL, Mike's Familiar.
Why? Copy it?
No, not even copy it. It's just like, once you've got the first Alexandria out, he was just getting like nothing but shadows and Phalys out of the deck.
Yeah.
So then eventually you're just like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep sifting and finding extra answers. Oh, look, I've got 1,600 worth of damage. Let me clear the board and swing for game. It's just like...
Umar combo, best deck.
Oh, Umar combo is so good. Umar's top husbando.
Alright, well, Dragons, I'm Dylan.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Colin.
Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for whenever we do this again.
Yes. Yeah. All right.